At a time when India has announced an aggressive budget for 2023, I am joined by someone who has not only positioned his own country's talks with India over the Green Initiative, but has also taken a leaf from Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's book to ensure that this initiative remains one of the most talked about points between the two countries as they foster relations for the next decade or so. Welcome to the show, the Ambassador of Denmark to India, Mr. Freddy Svane. I want to actually congratulate you at the beginning by telling you that the ties between the two countries, Denmark and India, have reached a stage where they can also not talk about just beer from Carlsberg or the reforms over the trade from Maersk, but also talk about the thrust area on the Green Initiative. It's something which I'm sure that you also take a lot of pride in it today. Where do you see the partnership growing between the two countries at the moment?
Thank you very much indeed for being invited for this interaction. I appreciate it very much. Denmark and India, we have really developed a special relationship. We call it the Green Strategic Partnership. And as you rightly said, it's about green energy and so forth. Today, Your Honourable Finance Minister, in her introduction of the Union budget, mentioned for the first time green growth. And that's what we have been working for. And of course, we have had companies operating in India for a long time, but now we have lifted our relationship to an even higher level, where it's about how can we inspire India, how can we help India with our skills, and how can we take our relationship beyond the bilateral of Denmark.
If you can elaborate.
It would be in energy and in water. On the energy side, we are very much into all kinds of energy. That is offshore wind, onshore wind, repowering, energy grid. We need a resilient energy grid, biomass, biogas and biosolutions in total. On the water side, it's everything related to upstream, downstream. It's non-revenue water, which is how much water is being pumped into the distribution system, how much is leaked through pilferage or leakages and so forth. So we are there. We are also there to help doing the river rejuvenation. We are now looking into Varanasi and Varuna river that flows into Ganga, so we are part. Denmark is a proud partner, country partner, the only partner country to the rejuvenation. So we are there where it makes sense for India, and that is connecting with the missions of Honourable Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India.
This is when you mentioned about Varanasi and the river Varuna as well, Denmark being a partner there. I'm given to understand that for all these 400 years that the two nations have enjoyed the ties with each other, the thrust not only today remains, like you said, on the expansion of the trade ties, but also on understanding each other's culture through these beautiful rivers and beautiful mythical towns which were once the home to India's Hindu gods, such as Lord Shiva, and also the constituency which is represented by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So where do you think this partnership would eventually lead the two countries, and if you can also explain what this initiative is going to cost Denmark or India, the rejuvenation of the rivers of Varanasi?
Varanasi is a very important sacred city. It of course is linked to your Hindu culture and the Hindu religion and so forth. We see it as one of the most important waterways, and since we have very special competences, skills within water cleaning, river rejuvenation, we have come up with some suggestions, and these proposals are being studied, and there will soon be a UP Investors Summit, and our minister responsible will attend that summit, and there he will launch a quite significant Danish proposal, which will really inspire India and Varanasi with whatever technology we have developed. So we are there, we are with India, and we stand firmly on our feet in India because we want India to be strong. We also take pride in that we have skills that can be used by India, but we are not teaching nor preaching India what to do. we are here to inspire. That's what we are doing in Varanasi, that's what we are doing in Uttar, what we are doing in Assam, what we are doing in Tamil Nadu, just to mention a few of the states.
Is there a figure that you would want to put on the Danish investments as far as, let's say, green finance initiative is concerned in the next 5 years or so, or beyond that as well? Is there something?
It's difficult to put numbers into it, but we're talking about billions of US dollars, no doubt about that, both from the private sector and soon when we have the upcoming UP Investment Summit, I can tell you that we are going to launch some very significant initiatives that will be seen, listened to, and more importantly, it will inspire the way in which India is handling some of the issues that are really a big hassle to you and to all of us. So we are with you, we stand with you, and we are also ready to invest in India and in the Indians.
For someone who has spent almost a decade here in this region, what do you think actually has changed for you personally or for Denmark as a country as a partner?
When I came to India first time, that was in August 2010. I'd never been to this place. For me and my family, it was a country. After a couple of years having really witnessed the Republic Days parade, where you saw unity and diversity at full display, then India became a nation. When we left in 2015, I said, giving an interview to Darshan, I said, India is now a living civilization. Because why? You have developed, maintained, secured 1,000-year-old cultural traditions, and that's the backbone of a country and a nation. So that's very, very important. I was so lucky that in 2011, May 2011, I met the then Chief Minister of Uttar, Narendra Modi, and we started interacting and so forth. So it was not that easy, I have to admit. Not everyone liked that idea, but we did it and we built up ties. And today, when I came back in 2019, I could build on that relationship. And therefore, we have taken our relationship through a almost unprecedented level of ambitions, shared values, and I see literally no limits to it. Has India changed? Yes. When I left in 15 till I came back in 19, I see three very important changes. First and foremost, the level of self-confidence had increased drastically at all levels. Secondly, the degree of digitization had really exploded and has really moved even further in that context. And today it's really perhaps the global hub for technology and digital solution. India is passing over whatever we've seen in the rest of the world. Third part is how India is defining its Indian way. And Honorable Minister for External Affairs, Dr. Jaishankar, wrote a book and gave a number of lectures about what he called the Indian way. And I believe that India has to become strong, because if we don't see a strong India, India will not be able to help the rest of the world. And today we see the union budget proposal. India is no longer just a marketplace. India is no longer just a kind of contributor to global affairs. India is a powerhouse. India is the center of gravity. And the new world order will be decided with a strong impact by India. So India is on the move and India has changed. And of course it's related to your Honorable Prime Minister, but also all these campaigns, mobilizations, missions and so forth that has turned India into a great power that can and will help the whole world surviving all the global issues, whether it's energy crunch, whether it's inflation, whether it's climate changes and so forth. So India moves fast.
What are the emerging industries from Denmark as far as culinary delights is concerned? Are we going to see more of Danish companies coming here, investing in the food market, or opening any restaurants?
Hopefully one day. I am also missing a true, genuine Danish restaurant out here. Whether it's coming or not, I don't know. Luckily, we've seen a number of Indian chefs going to Denmark. We have still a very famous restaurant called Nomar, and a number of Indian chefs have been going to Noma and other Danish top-level restaurants, and they have brought inspiration back to India. I think that's the best way. I mean, Danish chefs in India, they can visit, they can inspire, but basically it's better to have Indian chefs coming to Denmark, get kind of sense what is Danish food about, and then bring it back to India. The same goes the other way around. We have a number of fantastic Indian restaurants in Denmark, so we can have fantastic butter chicken and whatever we would like to have in Denmark from India. So we see a number of new initiatives, and one thing which I think is important, also mentioned today by the finance minister, the role of millets. India is a global hub, and will really like to take that forward. And in a health-conscious country like Denmark, millets will and are parts of our daily diet one way or another.
How interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, food is the only way you can open a human being's heart.
So you think India has taken the right decision in putting the trust back on millets?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it goes without saying. Well, I mean, Denmark, organic food, vegetarian food are coming big time up now, and millet's part of that. And who would not like to live in a healthy way? We all will, and therefore millets is such a kind of contribution to the global cuisine.
You think that day is also not too far when India will be sending its millets to Denmark and
already some organic millets have been exported to Denmark, so it's already happening. I would like to see even more of that. We'd also like to bring our skills in dairy, and Denmark is a land of dairy, and we hope that we can also help India, which is today the world's largest milk producer, really add some value to the milk that is being produced in India. So we stand also with India, and may the Green Strategic Partnership also become a tasty bite for the future.